Ah, you've come to the optimization cycle. If the Into the Wild Academy has a beating heart, then this is the beating heart. This is the center of operations. This is where it gets fun. All that stuff you've been learning, here's where it starts coming together. Now, the reason this is called the optimization cycle is because it's kind of the never-ending thing we do around here. We go from campaign controls to creative to audience to landing pages. And once we do that, then it sets up new conditions and we loop back through it, looking for ever greater measures of success and campaign performance for our clients. Better return on investment. Let me just go through these briefly and just give you a little introduction to what we mean by the optimization cycle. In every ad campaign you start, there's going to be a way that you can control the mechanics of that campaign. Let me click into the Home Reserve AdWords control panel. This is what I mean by the campaign controls. There's a way to interact with all the data. You're familiar with these things here. Max bids, clicks, positions, bounce rates, that type of thing. Let's come back here. What do I mean by creative? The creative are the little advertisements that you create. There's usually kind of an element of creativity to them. Here's the text ad creative. These are the ads that we create. We have to think about them. There's certainly an element of the thing that you're kind of pulling out of thin air. You have an idea for it. You're creating the words. Or even in a display campaign. Let me click over here to a display campaign. And here's visual creatives that you're working on. And same thing. These all have different click-through rates, different response rates, different conversion rates. And so we have to be very concerned about our creative, both in our display campaigns and then back here in our text ad campaigns. So that's what I mean by creative. So what do I mean by audience? Well, what I mean by that is that we're trying to always tune in a more accurate sense to exactly who the audience is that's going to see these ads. If, let's say that you were selling pet products, you really wouldn't want the non-pet owning general public out there to see your ads. You'd want the pet owners. So getting that audience focused in is of critical importance. Over here in analytics, this is the Home Reserve Analytics account. You can see this is the audience controls, but if I just take a look at like the interests overview, I can see where the interests lie, the affinities lie of the users that are coming into Home Reserve. So I can begin to get some ideas like, let's say, where are they in market? Well, a lot of them are in market, which means they're right now seriously consider purchasing for home and garden furnishings. That's interesting. I can come up here to demographics, and I can look at age ranges and gender breakdowns. And so these give me better audience insights so that when I'm working my loop, campaign controls, creative, I can tie them into the audience. Now here's another thing. Let's say that I'm bringing in a nice stream of people and I've got these things connected. What about the actual landing page experience itself? Let me give you an insight into that. Again, using the Home Reserve site. These ads here, these text ads, are triggered to come to the Home Reserve site. But it would be a far different experience if I brought them here to the main landing page of Home Reserve, which you can see is kind of general. It kind of relates to all the furniture products. Now that would be different than if I brought them into this page, which actually mirrors their search phrase. They search for sectional sofas. Over here I can show you in the keywords. See, they're searching for sectional sofas related keywords. And I'm dropping them in to this website where the first thing they do is see that narrative, the sectional sofas narrative, echoed back. And I can tell you from experience that if we drop those ads into this landing page versus that landing page, the number of furniture items we sell is far different. This page sells many more. So you can see that once again, if we go back to this optimization cycle, these are all the elements that we're working on. Campaign controls and the bids and the keywords and the negatives, the creative, the way that the text ad looks and reads and sounds, the URL in there, the display creative, the way the visual elements. Google one time said that you can get 4 times the improvement in your campaign from the creative than you can from any other setting. I'm not sure if that's true, but I certainly appreciate the sentiment behind it. So we get our campaign controls, we get the creative, we get the audience right, we get the landing page right. Now, sometimes with a landing page, you have to really help the client, the customer, see what it is that needs to be there. You can do some wireframing, you can do a little artistic mock-up. We do the neuropsychology and the marketing experiments. There's all kinds of science around landing page dynamics, and we want to get into that. But you can just see then it loops back to campaign controls, and just this really cool iteration in this cycling back through to get ever increasing results for our clients. So that's the introduction to the optimization cycle. You're really advancing if you're getting here.